Okay, guys, I'm here in a close guard. Okay, usually my opponent will try to stand up to open the guard. Okay, do this position here. So what I'm gonna do is once he's holding my sleeve to get up, I'm gonna take advantage of that grip on my sleeve and I'm gonna attack the wrist lock here. Okay, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna use my leg and my hand right on his forearm, and same time I'm gonna grab his wrist. Okay, I'm gonna bring him with my leg, break his posture, and my hand will do a cross grip, and I hold his wrist. Okay, from inside. Okay, everything at the same time. Once I bring him, his elbow is gonna be close to my chest. Okay, right in the middle of my chest. Why? Because if I don't do that, and I try to do one at once, he's gonna try to escape. He has his elbow free here to defend. Okay, I'm gonna miss the chance to finish him. So now I bring him with my leg, his elbow right in the middle of my chest. Okay, once I locked, okay, every time I got on this position, I'm gonna drive his hand towards his shoulder. Okay, so it's gonna be easier for me to finish him here on the wrist lock. So once I do that, I change my grip, like Americana grip. Okay, let's go back. So grab his wrist, push the forearm, bring his elbow towards my chest. Now it's very locked here, so very tight. Now I change the grip. Okay, so I don't want him to escape. So I do a very strong grip here, like an Americana. I'm not gonna bring his hand towards the opposite shoulder. Now he has his hand to defend. Okay, so hand close to his shoulder. Now I do the finish here. Sometimes I'm gonna start to attack. Opponent is very flexible. I'm putting a lot of pressure on his wrist. He's not gonna tap. Now I drive outside. Okay, I'm gonna drive outside and bring his wrist down. Outside and bring his wrist down. So this way it will be easier to finish. Okay, let's do one more time. So I have to break his posture with the leg first, with my legs. Bring him close me. Okay, cross 3 moves at the same time. My legs, the opposite grip on the forearm, and my left hand on his wrist. Okay, once I achieve that, his elbow in the middle of my chest, I drive his hand towards his shoulder, change my grip here to the Americana, so it's very hard for him to escape from now. So I bring his wrist down and bring outside to make sure I finish him. So I'm here, same position, okay, close guard. He grabbed my sleeve. Again, I'm gonna start to attack his wrist again. Okay, same position as I did before. So, but once I get here, even I'm bringing outside and down, he's not gonna tap. Okay, opponent is very tough. So instead of spending energy, I'm gonna do a variation. Foot on the hip, and I'm gonna go and attack the arm lock here. Once I attack the arm lock, I don't let it go of the grip. Okay? Why? Because once I have this grip, I have to put a lot of pressure on my leg so he doesn't escape his elbow. Okay? Once I have this grip, my leg is not that strong. It don't need to be that strong because I have a very strong grip on his arm here. So it's very hard for him to escape, to pull his elbow away. Okay, it's very locked here. So now I have two options: raise my hip and do the arm lock, or keep trying to finish him on a wrist lock. Okay, one more time. So he grabbed my sleeve. I do the same position as before. 3 steps at one. I'm gonna try to work on a wrist lock. Driving outside, he's not gonna tap. I do the foot on the hip, turn my hip, okay, and then I have the unlock position here. Okay, it's up to me now to raise my hip and finish. Okay, attack his arm, or I keep working on a wrist lock here to finish him. I have a couple options. Okay, arm lock and wrist lock. One more time. So I grab his elbow on my chest. I'm gonna start attacking. He's not gonna tap. I do like a hip switch here. Attack the arm lock. Okay, attack his arm, and then attack his wrist. Okay, guys. Now I'm gonna attack his arm. Okay, do the same move that I'm doing, the wrist lock here, the Americana. Now he had the reflex, and he's gonna push with his hand that is free. Okay, he pull his arm. I don't have a grip anymore here, so I'm gonna do the same attack on his other arm. So I'm gonna do the same position on the other side. Okay, now he's gonna escape again. I switch the arm to his other side. He's gonna escape, and I'm gonna keep doing this, switching side to side. What's gonna happen when I'm gonna start to try the position? My opponent is gonna pull my elbow. Okay, if he pull my elbow here, I'm gonna finish him. He needs to grab by my wrist. So now he's gonna be able to pull his arm out. Okay, now, and I switch to the other arm. Okay, I start attacking here. The wrist lock, he's gonna pull, and then I'm gonna be switching here. Okay, it's a very good drill. Okay, you're gonna keep speeding up the drill. Okay, so sometimes I attack and then let him escape, so I can practice the switching, the hand to hand. Okay, myself, I come back, come back to start doing a nice drill. I always add the speed as I get comfortable with the position. Okay, when I'm gonna attack, I have to bring the leg. Okay, I'm gonna break his posture of the leg. I can't forget about that. So it's all at once. I bring him towards me. So now he's elbow in the middle of my chest. And I do the position. Let's just change the angle here. So one more time. I attack his arm. He grabbed my wrist to escape. I switch the arm. Okay. He can even pull his arm to help me, because that's going to happen at the time of the fight. Okay. So keep doing. There's a nice drill here to attack. All right, close guard again. Okay, sometimes my opponent grab my lapel here, okay, and open my gi. Okay, he put his elbow on the mat. Okay, and he's locked here, try to stall. Okay, it's very hard for me to attack here, this position. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to attack the wrist lock on his wrist here. Okay, first thing that I need to do, I need to lock. Okay, I need to lock with my armpit his hand. Okay, like a cup. Okay, so I'm gonna rotate my arm. Now I'm gonna trap his arm on my armpit here. Once I turn, now he's trapped here. Okay, if I try to do the movement all at once, his hand is gonna slide and end up close to my shoulder. So now I rotate and I make sure his arm is really trapped here with my armpit. Okay, it's very hard for him to take it out right now. So now I'm gonna bring my knee close to his shoulder here. Okay, now I'm gonna hold behind my knee here. I bring my leg, the other hand go outside, hand to hand here. Okay, his hand is trapped. Okay, what I'm gonna do, if I do a hip escape to try to do the wrist lock, he's gonna be able to move his elbow and I'm gonna lose the position. Okay, let's go back here. I locked, I go hand to hand behind my knee. Now I'm gonna move the whole body. Okay, my leg is gonna be on the same place. Okay, now my whole body is gonna go towards my knee. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Gonna slide sideways. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do kind of a hip escape. I'm gonna lose the position. Okay, once his hand is trapped, I'm gonna do this move here, sideways. Okay, I'm gonna bring his wrist towards my leg. Okay, I always bring his wrist towards my leg. So I locked my armpit here, his hand. Now I grab behind my knee. Other than that, he's gonna have strength to escape. Okay. Now I'm gonna use my hands and my leg, still in a close guard. Okay. Now I bring my upper body sideways to finish him. Okay. One more time. Now he's like grab here my lapel. I'm gonna rotate. Okay. My armpit lock his hand. Now I bring my knee right in direction of his shoulder. Now I do a hand to hand behind my knee. Okay, close guard and drive my body sideways. Okay, if I don't do that, he has a chance to escape. So my leg is here, my leg is not gonna move. My upper body is gonna move. So now I'm on my close guard. My opponent wanted to get out here, grabbing my belt and put his elbow on my tight, making a lot of pressure here, okay? It's gonna be very painful here, okay, to open my guard. Okay, I'm gonna start attacking his wrist now. So close grip right on top of his hand, okay, in direction of his wrist. Now his elbow I'm gonna pull outside, okay? I make the cross grip and I'm gonna pull his elbow outside. I have to have this pressure because if I just pull the elbow, I'm not gonna have a position here anymore. So I locked his hand here, his wrist, and the elbow I'm gonna start pulling outside. Now I'm gonna start finishing him. There's a lot of pressure here, but not enough for him to tap. Okay. Once I lock now, what I'm gonna have to do, my right hand, I go under, okay, right by his triceps. I don't like to do over, okay. He can move his wrist and I escape. I do under, okay. Now I'm gonna move my hip, okay. I'm gonna push down on his triceps. I'm gonna just raise my hip, okay, to finish him like I do on the arm lock. I'm just gonna pull down, okay, right by his triceps here, and at the same time my hip I'm gonna go up, so to finish him here. Okay, one more time. So I do the cross grip here, lock his hand, pull his elbow out. Okay, now the hand goes under, right on his triceps, and I'm gonna do a lot of pressure downwards, okay? So I'm gonna do a lot of pressure here to lock, and then I'm gonna raise my hip to make him tap. Okay, let's change the angle here. So he's grabbing my belt here, using his elbow to open my guard here. So I do the cross grip, I open his elbow, okay? I'm gonna make that grip outside. I'm gonna still lock his arm, his hand here, okay? So I open. So as soon as I open, I still making a pressure down here. When I notice it's very open, I have the space, I go under and grab his triceps, okay? Now I'm raise my rib to finish him one more time. So I always cross grip, opening the elbow, okay? Once I open the elbow, I let it go over the hand to grab his triceps, and I push down. I'm not doing a lot of strength here, it's just I'm locking here, okay? Once I'm locked, I'm gonna raise my hips, and then I'm gonna finish him until he tap. Right, guys, now my opponent has no grips at all, okay? I'm gonna bring his hand towards me. I'm gonna do a cross grip on his wrist, okay? Now I'm gonna do over. So we always bending his hand backwards. Now I'm gonna do a wrist lock bending forward, okay? So now I'll do a cross grip, bring him towards me. I'm gonna hug here. I'm gonna do this position here. My right hand is gonna go over, and I'm gonna grab my own arm here. So I trap his hand. So if I'm gonna try to attack here, he has room to escape, okay? His elbow is not locked. And it is hard to bring his elbow all this way here, okay? So now I do a cross, I locked, okay? This is the beginning. Now I'm gonna start attacking, okay? Once his hand is locked, I'm gonna initiate my attack by opening my guard and moving my hip. Now my leg go over his shoulder, okay, to help lock his elbow so I have leverage to finish. Other than that, he's gonna escape, push back. Now I have the leverage here, and I'm gonna bend his rib forward. I don't like to let it go and grab because this grip here is very powerful. I have a position I can switch to arm lock, and if my opponent is very strong, I can always reset the position here, but I still have his arm trapped here to initiate attack again. Okay, so I grab his wrist. Okay, this time my opponent has no grip. I gained the grip myself, so I made the grip first than him, and now I'm gonna go over and bring him. I don't need to bring him towards me, okay? I go after him. So once I achieve that, I'm gonna start attacking once I achieve that. So my first goal, grab his wrist, cross grip, go over, lock his arm, okay? Close to my forearm here, okay? I bring towards my chest, my arm. I'm gonna do a hip escape. My leg go over his shoulder, lock my guard again, and I'm gonna start bending his wrist forward to finish. Okay, let's change the angle here a bit. So cross grip, okay, go over, lock his arm, okay. Once his hand is locked here, close to my chest, okay, I do a hip escape, okay. This leg is gonna go over his shoulder, okay. Why? Because I need to lock his elbow here, okay. His elbow needs to be locked so he cannot escape. So over the shoulder, now I feel his elbow is very tight here, locked, so I have leverage here. Close my guard, and I'm gonna start finishing bending his wrist forward. So now I got my opponent's back, okay. Once I got to the back, I have the seat belt. I'm gonna try to attack his left arm here, okay. I'm gonna try to build a trap here. So I grab his arm here, okay. I have the seat belt, okay. Right hand over, one under, okay. I got the seat belt position here. There's a lot of people here to start doing the defense to throw my arm over the head. That's what I want to do to him to do it, okay? I'm going to do the defense here so you guys can understand here. Some people throw my arm over, and I'm going to start turning to face me here, one of the escapes from the back here, okay? So now I got the seat belt. I grab his hand here, okay? So I grab his hand. He start like doing the escape. So what I'm gonna do is, when I feel that he's trying to do the escape, with my right hand I'm gonna turn, rotate, and do hand to hand. Okay, this grip here. So my hand, once he start initiating, so I'm gonna rotate and I do hand to hand here. So now his hand is locked. That's the hand that I want. Okay. So he's gonna try to initiate the escape. Once he starts doing the escape, okay, he's already giving me his wrist, okay. But what I need to do is I'm gonna throw him the other side, and I need to do a hip escape. Other than that, he's gonna come and land over my leg, okay. So when I do the hip escape, I turn him, okay. Now his elbow always has to be locked, okay. If his elbow is not locked, he has escape here, okay. And I'm gonna need to make sure his elbow is tight, okay. His elbow here is right on my biceps, okay. And I'm gonna pass my leg over his head, okay, and then I'm gonna start attacking, okay, putting a lot of pressure here on his wrist. I finish here. Let's go back. So I got the back, seat belt, I'm gonna secure his arm here, okay? Once he starts escaping, I let him escape, rotate my hand, hand to hand, okay? Lock his arm already here, there's a lot of pressure here, I'm ready on him. If I turn him without the hip escape, it will be very hard to finish in here, okay? There's not enough pressure here, very hard, okay? Let's go back. So in the same position here. So now that he's already passed my hand over, I do a hip escape. Okay, throw him the other side, and I'm gonna sit. Okay, once I sit, I lock his elbow here on my biceps, pass my leg over his head, and I'm gonna start attacking his arm. Okay, let's do one more time in real time here. So I'm attacking, I have the seat belt, he's trying to escape, I lock his hand, hip escape, throw him sideways, pass my leg over, and I finish him. Alright, I'm gonna do like a wrist lock from the mount here. Okay, my opponent is very closed here, very locked. I'm gonna go to the higher mount. Okay, I'm gonna bring my knee towards his armpit here, and I'm gonna put one hand in for the choke. Okay, I'm gonna try to do the choke as a bait, but force his defense to attack the wrist. Very common defense here. He's kind of answering the phone here. Okay, his hand blocking. So that's one of the defense here. I'm gonna attack that arm that he's defending here. Okay, so the side that I'm attacking, my knee is gonna be very high, and I lock his elbow here. Okay, for leverage. Okay, I need that elbow very locked so he cannot straight his arm to defend. So I'm doing the cross choke. Now my other hand, I'm gonna come, okay, very close to his ear, and I'm gonna grab his hand. Once that, the first hand of the choke gonna go out, and I'm gonna go inside and grab my own wrist. Okay, once I do that grip, I'm gonna my body forward and bring his hand outside. Okay, so I go one hand in, my knee very high here, okay, to lock his arm. Okay, I'm gonna go the second hand to grab his hand. Now I let it go over the first. I need to do this grip here, okay, on my wrist. Drive my body forward, and the hand always close to the elbow. Okay, I'm gonna bring his hand towards his elbow all the time. If I do this position, he's not gonna tap. I need to drive his elbow outside, okay, to finish him. One more time. So higher mount, okay, my knee very high to really lock his hand. I'm gonna try to do the choke, one hand inside. Okay, he's defending. Second hand gonna go really grab his arm here, let it go of the first, and I change my grip. Once I change my grip, head on the mat, and he wants to straight his arm to defend. Okay, so I'm really locked in here. I'm gonna slowly putting pressure on his hand. If he doesn't tap, I'm gonna drive outside. Right, let's do the wrist lock here from the 100 kilos. Okay, I'm here in 100 kilos. To this position to work, I need his elbow out of the mat. So I'm gonna advance my leg, okay, to take his elbow out of the mat. Okay, so his arm has to be on that position to work. Okay, I'm gonna try to fake a choke here. Okay, my hand cross grip. I wanted to do this as a trap because I want him to use the hand to defend. Okay, he's gonna try to do this. He's gonna try to push my arm to defend. Okay, so I come with my leg forward. I'm gonna initiate the choke here. He's gonna do this defense here. Try to push my hand away to escape. Once he grabs, I'm gonna grab his hand and I bring it back. Okay, first thing that I do is I start the pressure on his arm, but I lock his elbow on my hip. If I try to do the position without locking his elbow, he's gonna defend, he's gonna escape. Okay, so his hand is out of the mat here, his elbow. Try to attack his choke here. So I'm gonna open once I grab his hand. The most important is his elbow needs to be locked, okay? On my hip, very locked on my hip, so I have leverage to finish. If I let it go not tight, he's gonna escape, okay? So let's go back here. I'm attacking his cross choke here. So I grab his arm. Now, once it's locked, I'm gonna do the same principle. I'm gonna drive his hand towards his shoulder. Now I do my own grip, grabbing my own wrist to finish here, driving his hand towards his shoulder. Okay, to finish. One more time. So I'm here, my leg advanced, so his hand is out of the mat. I'm gonna try to attack his neck. Okay, once I grab his arm, I'm gonna drive it back. Okay, this pressure here that I need to bring his elbow towards my hip, and then I'm gonna open up once I notice that's very tight. Okay, that's the pressure that I want. Okay, so I'm here attacking the neck. I'm gonna go back and out. Okay, to lock, to make it hard for him to defend the position. Okay, I still have the chest to chest pressure here. I'm not giving him space here. Okay, I still have the pressure here. Chest to chest, his elbow is locked. Now my hand, I'm gonna go towards my wrist. Now I do the pressure to finish. Always his hand, always towards his shoulder. Okay, I'm bending his wrist backwards. Close to his shoulder it is. More leverage that I do, and is better to finish. Okay, away I can probably manage to escape, but once I have it close, that's for sure. If not, outside. Okay, so do one more time here. 100 kilos. I advance my leg. Okay, his arm is it's already trapped. So I'm gonna try to attack his neck. He's gonna try to defend. I bring his arm out. Okay, I grab. So now his arm is locked. I make my grip here on my own wrist and drive his hand towards his shoulder. If he doesn't tap, I'm gonna start to going outside. Right, I'm here in 100 kilos again. I'm gonna attack his opposite arm when he start pushing me. Okay, he using his hand to push me and try to do a hip escape, to do the escape and replace the guard. So I'm here 100 kilos. Once he starts to pushing me, I'm gonna go for this lock. I cannot go for his elbow right away. Okay, I need to lock his wrist first. Okay, once he do that, I'm gonna kind of swim movement with my arm. Okay, I'm gonna do this movement here to lock his hand first. If I just go for the elbow, he can't escape here. Okay, it's very easy to escape. So he's trying to pushing me. If I just go for the elbow right away, eventually will happen that I'm gonna lose the position. Okay, I'm gonna first lock his hand. Okay, once he start pushing my left hand right by his triceps, I'm gonna rotate my arm and lock his hand. Now my other hand grabbing his elbow. I'm not gonna do the position right now because I need to open first. Okay, I need to do this movement with his elbow. Okay, his elbow needs to be open. Now I'm gonna put pressure. Okay, on his shoulder and on his wrist. Okay, once I open, okay, hand to hand, I'm using both hands. I'm using my ear here close to his wrist, and I'm gonna put a lot of pressure here to finish. Okay, one more time. 100 kilos. He's gonna use his hand to push. I grab his triceps, rotate my arm, grabbing his elbow. Okay, I'm locking, using my head here as well to lock his hand here. Okay, grab his elbow. Okay, I'm gonna start opening his elbow, hand to hand. so he cannot came back in his elbow here. Okay, so now my body go forward. Okay, I'm not bringing his elbow towards me. My body is going forward. Okay, a lot of pressure on his wrist here. One more time. So 100 kilos. Okay, he's gonna start to pushing here to escape. My hand is already on his triceps. I rotate my arm, right, grab his elbow, open up his elbow again. Okay, lock his arm. Once I do that, my body is gonna go forward to finish. One more time in a real time here, really fast. So I try to scrape, I lock, I open his elbow, and I finish. Alright, I'm gonna start now when the guy is on a third position, okay? All fours is hard to get the hook, so I'm gonna attack his arm to get his back, okay? He's on 4 points here on turtle. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my knee, okay, on space right between his armpit and his leg, okay? Once I do that, my hand is gonna go as you go for the choke, but I'm gonna grab his hand and bring it backwards. Let's change the angle here a little bit. So my leverage here is his elbow here. He's very tight here, very locked. I put my leg in there. As I go for the neck, I'm gonna bring his arm back, okay? If I do without having my leg there to block his elbow, he can escape, okay? It's gonna be very loose position, I don't want that. So I have my knee inside, okay? I'm gonna try to go for the neck, and I go hand, okay? Block his hand, and I bring his elbow towards my leg, okay? I need that leverage here, okay? Once I do that, I'm gonna create space to get his back, okay? Once I get that, I'm gonna roll sideways. Now the bottom leg, I put the hook, okay? Right now it's very hard to finish on a wrist lock. It's not pressure enough to grab, okay? But his hand is trapped. He's gonna be worrying about that. Meanwhile, I get the second hook, and then I'm gonna start for my back attacks here. Okay, one more time. So let's move here to better angle here. So I'm gonna do the transition to get the back. The guy is very tight here on the turtle. My knee on that space here, okay? That's the space that I want to have my knee. Okay, once I do that, I come back, I grab that so I can have, he's gonna try to think I have his neck, but I want his hand, okay? I'm not gonna pull his hand backwards only, because he can straight his arm and lose the position. Once I grab his hand, I'm gonna bring his elbow towards me, towards my leg. Okay, so my leg here is gonna be the one blocking his elbow, okay? So once I do that movement, his arm is very locked in here. I'm gonna start rolling. I'm gonna come sideways, bring him towards me. I'm gonna escape my bottom leg here to place the first hook. Do the second hook, and I do the back control here on seat belt. One more time. So let's change the angle here. Okay, so you guys can see my leg. So I put my knee, okay, around that space here. So my hand go towards his neck. He's gonna start defending right away. Now I grab his hand and I start bringing out, okay, making pressure with his elbow right on my leg, okay. I'm gonna be out and back. Okay, it's very hard for him here now. So because his elbow is locked with my leg here. Okay, once I got that, I'm gonna slowly sit. Okay, my bottom leg is gonna escape and place the first hook in. Now I got the second hook and get the back. Okay, let's do one more time. So now he's gonna change the angle. So he's very locked here. I got the knee first. Okay, around that space. Go towards his neck, but I grab his hand, bring it outside and back. I sit, put him sideways. My bottom leg escape and get the first hook. A little bit more hip escape if I need it. So I got both hooks in and seat belt here. So let's do attack here from omoplata, finishing on a wrist lock. Okay, I start doing the omoplata here. Okay, I'm gonna transfer his arm right here to my belly. Okay, right my belly button. Okay, usually my opponent's gonna grab something to start doing his escapes. Okay, or standing up and doing his escape. So now I'm gonna lock his wrist, a hand right by his elbow. Okay, his hand is already trapped here. I'm not gonna do an ab exercise here, going up. I'm gonna finish him here on this pressure. Okay, so let's start on the omoplata again. So once I have the omoplata, but his hand is locked here. Okay, very common the guy try driving towards me. Okay, to defend. So if he does that, it's gonna be easier for me. I'm just gonna bring my knees towards my chest, hand to hand, and I try to put a lot of pressure outside. Okay, I always like to open his elbow when the guy is very tough. So I open his elbow here. Okay, there'll be a lot of pressure when I do that. Okay, so one more time. So I start attacking the omoplata. I'm gonna lock his hand here right on my belly. Okay, the other hand right on his elbow. Okay, so now his arm is locked already. So I'm gonna go hand to hand on his triceps doing the ab. Now he's putting pressure towards me, but I'm gonna start open up his elbow if he doesn't tap. Okay, one more time. Okay, omoplata. I'm gonna start lock his hand in place here for my attack. Okay, grab his wrist, the other hand, and now I'll switch to hand. If he come up doing pressure towards me, I'm gonna open his elbow to finish. Alright, now we're standing here, okay, fighting. He grabbed my collar, I broke his grip, okay. If the guy has a strong grip, the second one is gonna come even stronger, okay. So I know he's gonna do that. So once he does that, I'm gonna lock his wrist here, okay, and the other hand go right by his elbow. I do this grip at the same time, okay. Once I do that, I transfer hand to hand, and I'm gonna put a lot of pressure here with my chest on his wrist. I always have to open, because if I lock the other way, he's gonna have leverage to escape, okay. So I'm gonna be open up his elbow always. Okay, what happened here? So I broke a grip. Second time, I'm gonna lock his hand, okay, with my chest. I'm gonna go hand to hand. What I cannot do is go forward. He's gonna go backwards. I'm not gonna finish. To finish here, I'm gonna go down, okay, and then I am gonna walk back, bring him towards me, okay, to finish him. So he made the grip, I broke, he grabbed the second time, okay, the cross right on his wrist, the other one opened his elbow. Now I transfer hand to hand, and then I'm gonna put a lot of pressure on his wrist. A lot of people tap here already, okay? If the guy doesn't tap, I'm gonna go down and walk backwards to finish him. Okay, one more time. So he grabbed the grip, I broke, grabs again, I make my grips here, open his elbow always, the left one here, okay? And then I go hand to hand. Now I'm gonna start putting pressure. Sometimes he'll tap, If the guy doesn't tap, I'm gonna go back and walk backwards, okay? I'm gonna go very low here, my head below his chest, okay? Now my head has to be on this position here for me to finish. Sometimes I even sprawl to finish him, okay? Close to the mat that I am, better for me to finish him. One more time. So he grabbed my collar, I lock his wrist, open his elbow here, hand to hand, walk backwards and down. Okay, my head is below his chest here, and I finish with this pressure here.